Now, let's talk about the thing that seems to be everywhere. The 18th consecutive day of protest by Just Stop Oil, the latest group of eco-warriors, to blight our streets in the hope that we will, wait for it, just stop oil. All day, the Dartford crossing has been closed because one bright spark decided it was the perfect place to set up a hammock. But in the last hour, he's finally been removed. Now, we put a poll out on Twitter. We asked a very simple question. Do eco-protesters make you care about the climate more or less? I want to do this differently, but listen to these results. 97% of you said no. Only 3 said that eco-protesters make them care more about the climate. Just Stop Oil spokesman Alex de Koning is here. How are we?
I'm doing well, thank you for having me.
I love the fact there's a security guard at the back of the studio in the vain attempt that you might try and stick yourself. We've spoken before. I'm going to do this slightly differently. All I see and all I've heard is people on television and radio lambasting you and your lot, and we never get anywhere, all right? So I'm going to try a different tact, which might work or it might not. 18th consecutive day, the Queen Elizabeth II Bridge, we saw the Van Gogh's famous sunflowers covered in soup, we saw this, we saw that, Aston Martin in Park Lane. When you hear the results of that poll, your message, my friend, is not getting through to the very people that you want to get it through to. So instead of ranting and shouting me to you and vice versa, do you not think you should change tack? Do you not think that a message that is apparently so important is being lost amongst this madness and this attitude that just alienates people?
Well, you see, when the 2 protesters who threw soup at the Van Gogh, when they did that, climate change was spoken more about than when 33 million people in Pakistan got displaced by floods. So people are talking about climate change.
But they're talking about you protesting. Nothing has, on day 18, changed legally. Nothing has... Nobody's gone, do you know what? They're making a really good point.
Oh, there are some people that do that. Like, that video was seen by over 50 million people. If only 10% of them go, oh, my God, I want to engage more with what Just Stop Oil is doing, that's already a huge success.
Do you agree with me? And we had this argument before that Just Stop Oil seems to send out younger people. I know it's a younger person's movement, and I'm not disrespecting you. You've got a PhD. You're an intelligent human being. You're not getting anywhere. I go back to this, right? And we said this on so many occasions, but if I was in the car and I had my baby, Oliver, who's 2.5, and he was sick, and you're blocking the road, I'm telling you I'd do anything to get him to the hospital, but guess what, my friend? I'd probably end up in prison because we've got a Met Police that are too soft to do... Well, police everywhere are too soft to do anything, it seems, about you. I don't know why. They offer you pizza and a cup of tea. Do you not think...
Yeah.
Do you not think that a change of tack might actually help you get your message? Because the public need to be on your side and they're not.
Jeremy, we've tried every method. We've tried marches, we've tried petitions, we've tried writing to MP, some of us even tried running for office. None of that has worked. As soon as you suggest a better, more effective tactic, we will change. As soon as
Why are you not thinking of a better, more effective tactic? Why should it be us whose lives you're disrupting?
History has shown that mass civil resistance is the most effective form to get radical change on the timescale that we need.
What about addressing the government right now on television saying, you know what, we will stop protesting if we can have a rational, intelligent conversation?
That's exactly what we have done. So the disruption will end as soon as the government make a meaningful statement that they're going to end...
Tell the government, look down that camera, say that it will stop. It will stop. Look down that camera there. It will stop. That's a guarantee from Just Stop Oil if you are able to come to the table and have a discussion. That's what you're saying.
Just Stop Oil will stop the disruption if the government make a meaningful statement to end new fossil fuel licences in the UK. And that's a genuine...
But that's a statement. I'm talking about a conversation, yeah?
Well, we need meaningful change. If we just have a conversation,
but that starts with a conversation. Look, let me read you some questions, right? Because I feel like what you don't understand is you're holding this country almost to ransom. You're almost saying, if we don't get our own way. I absolutely agree that we should all have the right to protest. But let me give you a sort of cross-section. Why, says this question, are you still targeting ordinary people and harmless pieces of art in your attempt to get us to change our minds?
Well, London is a site of civil resistance now. We need to do everything we can in order to try and make change. Thousands of people are going to die this winter just from the cold. I was speaking to one of my paramedic friends and Just Stop Oil. The number of times he has had to go into a home and pick somebody off the armchair because they've just died from cold, it's terrifying. That can be easily avoided by insulation, easily avoided by switching to renewable energies, which are currently 9 times cheaper, Jeremy. 9 times cheaper than gas. Would you rather your
Why are
energy
you not
bills...
telling people about that? Why are you not saying this
We
is
are
what
trying to
you
tell
change,
people about that.
rather than, genuinely rather than... The thing I can't get my head past is normal, hard-working, everyday people who are the life and soul of this country, by the way, whether you want to win political office or you want your movement to be successful, and I'm not allowed to swear, are hacked off with you lot. I mean, they are hacked off with you lot. And I'm thinking,
yeah, a lot of them
doesn't your
are,
strategy
but a lot of
need...
them are...
Who are? No, sorry.
We have many working-class people in the movement as well.
Right, listen, Paul, no, it's a shame, right? Because if they were more, they would be more productive, and I would listen if they had common sense. Mr. Wakefield, when 97% of the people are against you, you really do, my friend, need to ask if and what you're doing is right. Christine, they keep saying they have the support of the public. Who are they talking to? Greta and friends? Because I don't know anybody who doesn't think they're a bunch of nutters.
Look, 0.2% of the public actually voted for Liz Truss, while 77% of people think we need more renewable energy in order to lower our energy bills.
OK, if 77%... Right, my poll is not statistical, it's just opinion.
OK.
But our opinion poll, excuse the pun tonight, says 97% of people who've taken part in this poll think that it doesn't improve their view of climate change. Let me try another...
97% of the viewers of Talk TV. That's not 97% of...
So if you're on here, and I'm giving you licence to explain... Right, I'm going to say something now that'll probably get me into trouble, right? Okay. So I'm 57, I've got 5 kids and 2 grandkids, and I'm getting more knackered by the day. And when people say to me, do you care about the climate... Do you know, some days I want to go, yeah, but not at the moment, mate, because there's enough going on in the world that there are other priorities. A bit like
the
taxing the rich, not taxing the rich to let it trickle down, doesn't help right now. This doesn't help right now.
No, we should be taxing the rich, we should be taxing the big polluters and using that money to insulate homes, subsidise public transport, switching to renewable energy. Again, as I'm saying, there's so many solutions out there and none of them are being used. Would you rather your energy bills were £3,500 or £400? That's how cheap it could be with renewable energy.
What would you say to the people who are shouting at the telly right now,
£200?
we're not listening to this man because all they do is disrupt our lives? That's what I want you to say to people. What would your excuse be? It's the only way we can get through to people. But do you accept that if you want to effect change, you can't hack off the people that can help you get it?
Look, as I've said before, this is not a popularity contest. Martin Luther King was the most...
Sure.
Martin Luther King was the most hated man in America at the time. The suffragettes were despised, and yet they both made meaningful change. And looking back on them, we respect them.
But I don't think you respect the British people by disrupting their lives. That's what British people are telling us. That's all I'm saying.
No, we don't want to be doing this. But again, the government
do something different then.
The government can end this tomorrow by making a meaningful statement that they're going to stop all new oil and gas.
The government can't even make a meaningful statement on who the leader is, man. Listen, thank you. I don't want to shake your hand. You don't got glue on it, have you?
I don't have glue on it.
And by the way, I didn't throw tomato soup over you. What would you have done if I did?
Well, I would have been extremely hacked off, but I wouldn't have done anything because we're a non-violent movement. And if anybody wants to join this non-violent movement, they should meet at 11 a.m., 10 Downing Street every single day.
Promise?
Promise.
Wanted you to have your say. Thank you very much indeed.
Lovely to meet you.